Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever it is, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene set in Edessa the Dark Crusade. But once again, we do not set the scene in Edessa. Our lovely Canaanites uh, do seem to wander off every now and then. For this scene takes place within a domain far beyond the boundaries of Edessa, on the edge of the county itself. The domain known as Tarse, or Tarsus. A very old city. A very old indeed. One of the oldest in the region. For it is a city that has existed for over 5,000 years. But neither you nor the character in question is here for a history lesson. No, the scene focuses on a lady, or sister, shall we say, Madelain, of Edessa, having travelled all the way to Tarsus, not to establish residence or influence, or to engage in the politicking so typical of a high clan. No, she is here to find someone in particular. A figure she knows only in passing, a figure she has learned the identity of through fragments, broken, torn, burnt pieces of a decayed journal from over a century prior. Obtained the course from the ever amiable Omar Shadid. And she has learned that this figure is within the domain of Tarsus. Or at least was. The trail, of course, is quite old. One could also say it has gone cold. But since when has that determined Canaanite on the path? And so, with a firm heart and a bit of help in contacting the appropriate individuals, Madelain arrives in Tarsus, ready to greet the prince, accompanied with an appropriate tribute.
Yes, Madelain is not so wary from the road. It's not as problematic as it is for most other Canaanites. Travel can be arduous. You need to find shelter. Doesn't seem to be that much of a problem for Madelain. She gets off, and the two anonymous-looking people with her two servants. They are always dutiful, and they will tend to the horses, as she will we'll just take stock and just have a look at the city, but it won't be much more than just getting her bearings after 10 minutes. After that, she will tell the two servants to follow her. And, she'll begin to head to the place where she will deliver her gift.
As you walk on through the city and begin to approach a local villa resting alongside the river Tarsus itself, you pass through, or you pass by the Church of St. Paul, and a rather chill shiver runs down your spine as you pass through it. It is not particularly prestigious. In fact, it's very humble. The church is small and well built, but not very large. Again, it's a church. It's not a cathedral. It doesn't possess many great monuments from without. It looks very simple.
Madelain will just. She will probably instinctively know kind of what's the cause of this, shall we say? And she will just won't like jump to the side or anything, but they'll maybe take a little detour around, maybe something good to look at the other end of the street, or just a little detour. No need to get too close.
As you approach and move well away from the rather intimidating building that I would say looms over you, but really doesn't. You reach the villa. You are briefly frisked by two individuals. How is your tribute packaged? I should ask this before you actually enter.
It is wrapped in black clothing or cloth.
Okay, so it's wrapped in cloth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
they don't unwrap it. They just check it. They kind of pat it down a little bit. They're fairly gentle with it, as they understand it is a gift. They're very careful with it. Actually, they just make sure that it's not that. They kind of ask you what it is. I assume you answer truthfully, and they kind of just run their hands along it to make sure that you're telling the truth. They don't unwrap it. You guess they're trying to make sure it's not something sharp and edged.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah. But once they're satisfied that you are not, in fact, some lunatic Assamite sent to kill the prince, you are guided in to.
She will also just say that these are her servants. They'll know what that means, but. And she will just say, they can. Would the mistress of the house, so to say, have them wait here or wait inside?
They simply told you that the ghouls will, or rather, not your ghouls, sorry, your ghouls. They don't necessarily know, but they assume. But they don't say it outright. They are to politely wait outside. Only you'll be permitted entry.
She nods.
Unless they are to carry, unless they are literally to carry and hand over the gifts. In which case, they'll be permitted to do so.
No, I will carry the gift.
They can respect manservants and maids. In which case, yes, these servants shall remain outside. The guards will accompany you in, however.
Mm-hmm. Madelain will be led to, to some. Is it just like a big room where she is, or is it study?
Yes. It's not really a study, rather than it's just kind of a living room on the second floor.
Hmm.
With a nice window balcony overseeing the river itself. It's the room itself is well lit, with plenty of candlelight, small kind of simple chandelier kind of lighting the whole room. Rugs, carpets, kind of colourful rugs, carpets, cushions line the floor in the seating areas. There's ornate sort of metal trimmed cabinets. And shelves for various pieces of literature. Not books, scrolls.
Hmm.
And yes, you upon entry, you see the prince. He's just sitting down on one of these on one of these rugs, just kind of laying against the numerous cushions with this overly complex and very pretty and quaint embroidery. It's a wonder how the Toreador really are able to derive any value from such meaningless adornments. Alas, yes, she is.
Hmm. Madelain will she'll first curtsy and then kneel. And she will just first present herself. And she will say, My honored Prince Dramatis, I am Madelain and Sila of Clan La Sombra. I am honored that you would welcome me into your city. I bring this simple gift. And she will present the package.
She, as you present the gift, she kind of quaintly, she looks upon it with a somewhat sly and curious smile. As she says, you bestowed me with such luxuries before I even have a chance to introduce myself. But thank you, dear Madelain. She will gently take it off you, not really being able to resist a peek at what is inside, at which point she must make a self-control roll. Which she fails. Great, really.
Yeah, that's a fail.
As she, you quite clearly see she immediately falls in love with your gift.
Madelain will, of course, let the honored prince have this moment. He's not. She's going to allow her the time to just savor the gift. Obviously, Madelain will just have his seat, not like just off to the side. And when the prince is,
She actually says, "Leave me for but a moment."
of course, and she will.
Um, it is about let's find out. Let's see how long.
God damn it!
Okay, it's only 5 minutes. Well, a bit longer. We'll say 6 or 7 minutes. Before the guards re-allow you entry. And you are met once again with the prince. And as you're let back in and she sees you again, she sits up a little bit this time, but she still kind of has her head rested against one of the cushions. She says, "My earnest apologies, dear Madelain, but your gift was so beautiful, I could not wait. Take it as a compliment."
Oh, I will. Glen Toreador does appreciate beauty.
And truly your gift was beatific.
I thank you very much for your kind words.
But yes, I do not believe I had the opportunity to introduce myself. Rather rude to request someone departure before I had done so, yes. I am Prince Clamatus, no doubt you've already heard, if you have been able to organize a meeting with me.
Yes, I have. And I must congratulate you on your successful ring. It is good to know the stability is still found somewhere. So many places are brought with error. As you probably know, my own city, Edessa, has been, well, rocked by certain situations. But alas,
Oh yes, word has even reached this far out, the struggles of your poor domain, I must say. I do feel quite sorry for it. You have my sympathies.
thank you. Well,
I suppose it is only natural when princedoms change hands every few decades. One can't expect much stability, but they can expect much violence.
Hmm. Sadly so, yes.
A shame. I have heard of your new prince, a young Ventrue.
Hmm.
Please, oh, 1 moment, sorry. Apologies. She does say, well, please do give the prince my regards upon your return.
Oh, I
I
will.
would. I am very much concerned for her. I would very much hate for her to fall to the very thing she's struggling against.
Right. Just when she says not fall to things she's struggling against, is that just a general sentiment, or is there in it that she might actually know what she's fighting against?
You can roll me perception expression.
Wouldn't it be empathy?
Not this time.
Perception expression?
Mm-hmm.
It is not there. Wow, 4 successes.
You get the impression that, based on how she's worded her prior statements about stability and struggling against violent, how to say, violent malcontents, but she seems to be playing up the stability of her domain over the instability of Edessa.
Oh.
She's kind of subtly slagging it off, while also saying, but don't worry, I do hope the prince lives, even if she is
Okay,
inferior
fair
to
enough.
me.
So she's just being a Tory. Fair enough. Well, vampire, honestly.
Hmm.
But I will carry your best wishes for the prince with me.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I would make the journey myself, but I'd not wish for Tarsus to fall to a similar fate.
Of course not.
I've heard that even Prince, and she says it with this sort of hissing, Cassius has declared war on Edessa.
Yes. For the 3rd time? I remember. He has made quite a few friends. And strangely, no one in Edessa seems to notice.
Well, of course, he is beneath notice.
That seems to be the general consensus.
The only thing that stands out about him is his aggression, which is only matched by his repugnance.
I cannot say that I know much of him myself.
Unfortunately, one doesn't have to know much to know him all too well. But that is not why you're here, and I'd rather move away from the topic of bleeding carcasses. So, if I may ask, dear Madelain, what is it that brings you to
Well,
my...
it is a
Oh?
perhaps odd matter. I wish to speak with one of the people within your city, perhaps more than one, but one of your clan, name of Raphael, came to the city quite some time ago. And from what I can understand, a bit atypical.
If I may say, you do seem quite desperate to see them.
Well,
So desperate I was not even able to finish my sentence. What drives you to meet this person, I wonder?
he is an irregularity.
How so? We meet a lot of irregulars, even Tarsus does.
He has spent time, and as far as I can tell, quite a lot of time in a coterie of Nosferatu.
Well, it's not unheard of for... No, she cuts herself off. She doesn't cut herself off. She just says, well, it's hardly unheard of.
Hmm. For me it is. Well, yes, it is not something I have heard of before. Also, he and his sire came from Edessa.
Well, that's certainly not unheard of, Madelain. You come from Edessa.
Hmm. Quite.
Does that make you an irregularity?
Well,
I will say your tributes certainly are. And for that I'm very thankful.
oh, think nothing of it. I am merely observe customs, as everyone should.
I appreciate a woman of stature. But tell me about this person. I would love to help, but there's not much I can do if I do not know of them.
Madeleine is going to she is going to um Yeah, she's going to say, well, I need or would like to learn more of Lucas, his sire. A well, it is to help someone I know. But there are certain things that I cannot make sense of from what little I know. I know that his sire was named Lucas and he was named Raphael. One left Edessa, another did not. Or was it simply disagreements of companions, or was it other things? And that is a manipulation subterfuge roll because obviously she's hiding something. And there are certain things regarding to the sire that I would wish to speak with him of. This can, of course, be a sensitive matter, I understand, and I will not come into your domain and insult or aggravate the essence of it. I understand. So, if he does not wish to speak with me, well, I may stay a little to see if he changes his mind. But I cannot stay for too long. I merely wish to fill in some blanks.
You carry news from Raphael's sire? Sorry, not Raphael, yeah.
I do.
She kind of looks up to the ceiling for a moment. Well, I must say, dear Madelain, that is quite strange. He has been dead for the past century.
And that is the news I wish to bring, along with some other things that have surfaced.
Oh, now this I would love to hear.
Indeed. I have found some of his belongings. And given some of the things that transpire or went on in Edessa and does go on now, I am following leads wherever they take me. And this is one lead I must follow.
Man, but it wouldn't be that simple if you're willing to make the journey here.
It isn't. Very few things are simple.
No, although I am quite curious as to why you've taken such an interest in one of my clan's bloodlines. I would have thought it would have been one of our own. I'm quite surprised, yet relieved to see you have come regardless.
Well, honestly, there are fairly few clans I would wish to look more into. Clan Toreador is quite, quite breathtaking.
We try to be. She kind of... Oh yeah, she actually needs to roll for you, because you're appearance 5. She gets it too. She does, like, wrap an arm around you slightly, and it's like her grip is very tender, very soft. Her beauty actually matches your own.
Ooh. Pretty.
She is a shiny. So, mysterious news and effects for my harpy from the churning chaos waters of Edessa.
Intriguing. I know.
Well, when your story concludes, you must return if you're able.
Oh, I will. If that is your wish.
I can tell an interesting story as it happens. I would love to have it recorded, maybe a song.
Well, I can sing. I sang in my more than a lifetime ago. I do believe that your clan would put me to shame. In that particular avenue.
Well, in that case, I very much hope you don't fall into a pit of vipers. After all, I'd love to hear you perform the act itself.
Well,
I feel like the protagonist of the story may be able to add something we might not be able to.
I suppose we will both have to see. I will endeavor to return as soon as I can. I must say you are perhaps well, one of the more comfortable princes to visit. A very welcoming host. I thank you for this.
Only because you've made me so comfortable, dear Madelain.
She just smiles, takes the compliment.
Is that all?
For the moment, I will return, as it is your wish.
I very much would. I'd love to hear your story after you're done with my harpy. Thank you
Very
for
well.
your kind gifts. And for wonderful conversation. You are, as I said, a most becoming guest.
Thank you very much.
And she softly kisses you on the cheek.
And that I will treasure quite much. Thank you.
Her arm kind of runs down your hand, her hand, runs down your arm to the tips of your fingers before slowly returning to her lap. And say, goodbye for the moment, Madelain.
Have a very good evening, my prince. And Madelain will, I'm guessing, be escorted out by the guards, or
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, she will. Yeah, she will. I'm guessing that there's a direction towards either the Elysium or something like that.
If you ask the guards, they can show you, yes. One of them will give you directions, they won't leave the villa.
Then she will take the directions or follow the instructions and go towards that.
The Elysium that you are given directions to is deeper into the city itself. It is how to say, trying to find the right word for it. I had it and then I forgot it. It is a town hall of sorts.
Hmm.
Stocked, of course, with alcohol.
And does it smell like it too?
No, you can smell that the room's been scented to cover the alcoholic smell.
Fair enough.
Despite it being a town hall, it doesn't look quite. It's very much been Toreadorified. Um, uh, silken banners line the walls, and the ceiling has been painted over. The room has been immaculately lit to elicit a specific reaction from your shadows, so that they angle themselves in kind of dramatic ways.
That is so Toreador.
Very much leave an impression as you enter the room. And the windows are clear glass,
Hmm.
although the curtains have been closed on them. Which have the most beautiful embroidery, as do all fabrics in this building, apart from the ones that the low-clads are wearing, alas. You introduce yourself to the keeper. They're happy to welcome a guest. They do ask you if you've already introduced yourself to the prince. I presume you say yes.
She will say yes.
They're willing to take you at your word on this. And would ask if there's anything they can do for you this evening.
She will, of course, curtsy and do everything that customs dictate. And she's going to say if there's a harpy named Raphael who is around.
The keeper kind of gives you a quick blink and points you in the direction of a man who is currently talking with two other individuals. The man he points you towards is a fairly pale looking, as are most of the people in this room, looking figure. Somewhat small in stature, about as tall as the prince, and the prince is fairly short. You're quite slender and tall. You're a bit taller than him. Wearing kind of fine robes of white and red. He seems to be drinking from the wine glass and having something of a raucous time with his two fellows, who are also pale. And the keeper says, "Not the harpy, the master of harpies." And yeah, they kind of leave you to approach.
Yeah, she won't butt in. But when there is a natural pause in the conversation, she will just say, Happy Raphael?
Oh, he almost coughs.
And she will just say, Oh, where are my manners? May I introduce myself?
Of course, please. Who is this beautiful young thing? Come to speak with us. Surely we have been blessed this day.
Does he need to roll No, never mind. Can't have him also go.
I've not seen you in Tarsus before. You must be new. I am Raphael, the master of harpies. These are my two. He kind of makes a weird hand gesture as he tries to come up with something for them. Assistants.
Hard at work. She smiles, giggles a little.
Oh, that's right, harpies.
An important position. My name is Sister Madelain, Ancillar of Clan La Sombra.
Oh my, a woman of great bearing, much like our prince. Interesting. Well, not quite like our prince, but give it a century.
Thank you. Might we speak in private a moment?
You know, normally I would take He chuckles to himself slightly. Normally I would take someone as fair as you up on that offer, but please, why not share in the enjoyment of the evening? Have a drink if you can stomach it.
Oh, I can. But I have something for you.
Someone of such rare tastes. Oh, really?
Yes. And it might be not immediately a gift or thing that would be appreciated. It is of a sensitive matter. I do not wish to upset you.
Oh. And here I thought it was only the prince that had got all the gifts. My apologies, gentlemen.
But Madeleine will take the drink.
But
Don't.
the lovely young lady insists, and I doubt you could beat her at a drinking contest, so off with you.
Madeleine will.
They bitch and moan like harpies do.
She has a small satchel with her. She sits down. She says, I have traveled quite some distance. When I tell you where I reside, I think you will know what this matter is regarding. I hail from the city of Edessa.
I thought Edessa was burning to the ground.
Not quite. She picks up the.
That's
Well,
hardly an improvement.
I understand that you called this your home some time ago.
And quite so. Edessa was a mess.
She produces
Still
the
is.
journal, puts it on the table.
I see you have unearthed the curious invention of literature.
It is your sire's.
Roll such empathy.
Was your sire's.
I'm going to roll a bunch of stuff. Empathy. No successes on his empathy check. He looks frustrated. It's like you're reminding someone they got an F in that exam 5 years ago, and they're like, why the fuck did you have to tell me that? Why are you being an asshole? He kind of looks at you with a degree of hostility.
I thought it belonged to you.
Well, I'm afraid you're mistaken. It belongs to my sires.
Well, if you do not wish it, I will take it with me. But do know that he actually.
Yeah, we're taking this to a private room now. He snatches up the book and walks off to a nearby door.
She follows it.
Got some fucking jackals in the background. You don't want to speak about that here.
Which is why I apologize, but I had to insist.
I get it. Where did you find this?
A long story.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
A contact in local affairs digged it up. A local of my own clan.
And I don't suppose they told you how they got it, did they?
I can find out if you wish. Whether you read it or not, you should know that that book, in the end, contains what I believe is unfiltered love for his creation, for you. I know this might upset you, or I do not wish to. Okay, but it must be said. What you do with this is
My
your
sire did
business.
not love me. If they did, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the city, abandoned me for warning them that they're about to be ashed. Because they had a vendetta against faces.
Then, well, might I be so bold to say that you are far better than your sire?
I just did what was necessary.
And I applaud you for it.
Didn't mean I had to enjoy it.
Things that give us strength, things that push us forward, makes us endure, are very, very rarely enjoyable. Which is partly why we remember them.
No, but I don't see why any of that matters other than the fact that I'm alive. Why are you bringing this to me?
You knew beforehand. There are many reasons. Well, more than one reason. I wish to know what happened. You knew beforehand that people were gone missing. You obviously know more than your sire or many others. I need to know what is happening. What happened, and if it is related to what has happened recently or going to happen soon. If something is indeed going to happen.
Why hasn't Edessa got its own problems right now?
Perhaps they are connected.
You sound hopeful. I hope you haven't invested too much into this wild goose chase of yours.
As I said, there are many reasons. One is personal. One is for the betterment of the city, hopefully.
I wouldn't put too much hope in saving Edessa. It's been a clusterfuck for the past 200 years. Never mind that. Look. Me and Maya, I suppose you could call it a coterie, or more like. A group of survivors driven together by happenstance. I don't know that much. All I can say is that I knew what I knew. Because there was a face that owed me dead. So he tipped me off. When the first canine started disappearing, we thought it was the usual. Some would-be dabblers that desperate caitiff, some things for the scourge to handle, not an issue. Nosferatu knew better. I don't know how they figured it out. I don't know how they knew in advance. But I'm smart enough to know that when a Nosferatu say they want to fuck off in their entirety out of a city, you'd be stupid to welcome it.
At least you should very seriously contemplate following suit as fast as possible.
Nobody likes them.
certain.
They look like shit. They ain't exactly pleasant to look at their worst. They're an actual blight on the landscape, but they know what they're doing.
You may
If
not
they
know
say
too
they
much.
want to, if they say they're gonna go, it's not because you've successfully managed to chase them out. I've been to their warrens before. It's a fucking fortress. You're never kicking them out of the city. But so when they decide to leave voluntarily, the rest of us should be getting really fucking nervous. Unfortunately, seems to be a lesson that a lot of us don't want to learn. But hey, if people want to find a creative way of committing suicide, I say leave them to it. All I know is that the Nosferatu told me that they were bailing on the domain because something else was hunting down canines for sustenance. At the time I went, of course, obviously, canines getting hashed in the middle of the city. Probably another canine. What a surprise. Great job there, Sheriff. So they told me a little bit more, a little bit deeper. It was something different. It wasn't a simple caitiff. It wasn't an ancilla. I'm not sure. It wasn't an elder. It was something else. Not even sure it was a canine. It was eating us, but I don't know why. Presumably, sustenance means feasting on our blood, but I don't know for certain. Could have been anything. The description they gave.
A monstrous black form.
I can't remember. It was a century ago, something like that. Didn't look human at any rate. Could have been one of those lupines I hear so much about. Never seen one in over a century and a half, so can't really vouch for it.
I saw the memories of one of the deceased. You see, Edessa still has one member that was not killed,
Yeah,
but you know of him. So,
anyone who's been to Edessa knows of the Red Man.
quite. Should I send him your regards?
God, no. I don't draws attention, Jesus fucking Christ.
No. I merely jest.
For once, I'm the one who's scared by words. So I presume you want to follow up with a Nosferatu, right? I don't imagine you're going to let the trail end with me.
I do. Like I said, there is more than one reason for me to examine this.
Sure. I'll give you a lead. I don't exactly know where any of my friends are now because they disappeared like everybody else associated with Edessa. I swear to God, I'm the only public figure left from that debacle. From what I know of, the ones who joined me, they went deep underground. Don't know where though. But I think I know somebody who could find them for you.
Indeed.
But I want to keep the book.
Is it he wants to keep the book?
I want to keep that book.
Of course. It is yours. If you wish it.
There's a new mate. His name's Broker. At least that's his alias. He's Nosferatu, resident of Bera, but he visits Tarse quite a lot. Visits a lot of the domains. He likes to travel, keep in touch with the clan. Seems to have established a means of travelling around very quickly. He's able to get to Tarse within a night or so. It's not exactly easy. Bandits roam these roads and all that. It's not only that they have to worry about. With Fiora on the aggressive, other domains have been stepping up security measures of their own. I'm sure you noticed our prince has been a bit more precautious as of late.
Since this is my first visit, I cannot say that I detect any difference. But one should always be careful.
I trust you to know a bit of caution when you see it. I'm sure she softened up to you upon meeting you.
I think that would help. Apparently my dealings with you seems to have aroused her curiosity.
No doubt. We like to jab back and forth for each other a little bit. It's kind of a game. Keeps court interesting every now and again. But I left Edessa. I met up with her. We've been on good terms for quite a long time now. Obviously, if we weren't, I wouldn't be a harpy now, would I?
Or probably not.
Needless to say, you wouldn't want to piss either of us off in this domain. It kind of goes out saying. Not threatening or anything. Just making the observation for you.
That was not my intent.
I was a bit unsure, to be honest, given the book and how pissed off I was. But there you go. Misunderstandings happen. As for Broker, well, who knows? The prince might be able to arrange a meeting with him for you. Depends on how much he likes you. Depends on if you're willing to get her to like you.
Well, I know the ways of things.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'll leave that up to your own personal discretion.
I am going to speak with her. And I assume that there would be no trouble in me telling her what I found, and that I wish to return it to your hands.
Let's keep the whole it's a journal from my sire stating how much they love me or hate me or whatever out of this. Effects from my sire or something.
Fair enough. She smiles, nods.
He does actually take a deep breath. Roll me perception empathy.
I will. Or
What you've done seems to have brought up something really heavy from him. He seems to have had trouble processing it all. He's done a good job containing it. But
yeah.
You feel like he's processing a lot right now.
If actually, you wish.
He comes across as a lot less angry than he reasonably should be.
If you wish, you can send me letters. If there is something you wish to discuss. It is up to you, of course.
I have no desire to revisit Edessa. I don't know about you, but I left that part of my life behind a long time ago.
Hence why you would write letters and not come.
No desire to revisit.
Fair enough.
Is that all? Or did you bring a bushel of flowers as well?
Did I bring what, sorry?
He said a bushel of flowers.
No. This was what I brought with me. Maybe it buried deep, and it may be a long time ago. But those things that sting the most.
Yeah, I'm done here.
Very well.
He takes the book and walks out.
Yeah. And Madelain walks out as well.
He kind of puts the book inside his robes.
Right.
Hides it from the crowd. Zia walks on out. Actually, is he?
Go ahead.
As he walks on out, you see him just walk straight out of Elise and completely blow everybody off.
Madelain just looks after him and thinks, he hadn't stormed off, he would be able to learn a very valuable lesson. She might have dug a little bit more in it, but oh well. It's him that doesn't want to learn. It's not her fault. Madelain is going to head back to the prince, but I don't know if we should make it a part 2, because it is somewhat late.
This should be short, so.
Fair enough. Madelain will then arrive at the prince's establishment once more. And
you arrive at her establishment. Sorry for the pause. You arrive at her establishment. She seems to just be singing rather quietly. You can actually hear the tune from the balcony. She's not at the balcony, she's still in her room, but the door is open.
is it her just humming or singing or?
She's singing. And she's quite. She gets 3 successes.
Madeline's not going to interrupt it. She's going to enjoy it. But she's going to sit down and just enjoy the singing.
After she eventually stops, she pauses, turns to you, and rests on her cushions once more and says, Madelain, you have returned. It's good to see you again.
And I got another boon of hospitality. Your beautiful voice. You do not disappoint. You live up to everything I hoped.
As she cozies on up to you. I am but an amateur compared to the rest of my clan.
Which puts all other clans to shame then. Oh well.
I am sure your voice eclipses mine.
Well, I promised you a story. I have returned to your master of harpies. Some personal effects of his sire. It was for him. And it is also a matter of what happened, well, all that time ago to him and his sire, Edessa. I wish to understand what happened.
What a very forlorn and tragic past for, or rather, the past of somebody else's.
Quite so. But I wish to avoid it, for that past to repeat itself. And for that I need knowledge. Broker, a neonate of Clan Nosferatu. Your master of harpies said that he is a person that might know more than himself. I have taken
Kind
the
of
bit.
retracts from around your waist, and she says, "I suppose he's quite resourceful for what he is."
Well, Raphael himself said that you would be the person able to perhaps facilitate the meeting.
I could.
Hmm. Well, what would you wish for such a meeting?
There's a sly smile that appears from across her face. Just your time, Madelain. Just your time. Nothing more, nothing less.
Hmm. Very well.
I
It has
wouldn't wish
been.
to burden you with boons of debt. It's just not my fame.
Very
And
well.
if I may be, we have just gotten along so well together in such a short time. I wouldn't wish to poison that new relationship with talks of boons and politics.
Hmm. This city is truly blessed with a ruler such as you.
And I see it is blessed with most blooming and well-favoured visitors. May I ask why you are so committed to Edessa?
It is my first home, the place I made truly myself, myself as a name, myself as a person. Nowhere in my mortal life or my canine life had I ever felt as a person, as a someone who could stand on their own 2 feet. But once I came to Edessa and had escaped the machinations of my sire, I came to the city. And I was myself. And I found this strength. Found my burgeoning convictions take hold. I know that place in the city does not matter, but it holds significance to me. And some of the kindred there are my very good friends.
Then spend some time in Tarse. Maybe you'll make some friends here.
Perhaps.
I know you already have one.
She smiles and will just take the head covering, whatever you want to call it, off. Just let her hair just flow out. Just lean back in the pillows, probably just up, well, somewhat close to the prince. And what a friend.
She kind of hums as you kind of pull your neck back. Her fangs extend and she bites as softly as one can into your neck.
Okay.
Oh yeah, roll me self-control to fate.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I'm so bad to get deoplarized. Maybe.
This is just a response to the effects of the kiss.
I know.
You don't actually have to have your blood drained to be affected by the kiss.
I know. But if I fail, it is a what? Sorry.
Self-control or instinct. Difficulty 8.
Instinct. Right. Instinct. Shit. I fail.
Okay. As the prince,
Can I roll again?
no. That was, I don't believe so, no. So, as the prince sinks her fangs into the good sister, and Madelain sighs, taken by the joys of the kiss, the ones so often inflicted upon mortals rather than their own kind. That is what we shall in this scene. As the prince just takes her fill of Madeleine for the rest of the evening. Thank you, Payers of Pain. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time on this cliffhanger.